Greetings, everyone, and a warm welcome to another edition of Marketing the Invisible. I'm Tom Poland, beaming out to you from the sunny Sunshine Coast here in Australia, joined today by Terence Tam. Terence, g'day again. Warm welcome from Australia. Where are you hanging out?
Great to be back, Tom. I am based in Kota Kinabalu, which is in Malaysia, and we're a seaside town, which is a tourist town with lots of islands just nearby. So it's great. It's kind of like Queensland where you're living in.
A tourist town, I suppose there's lots of beautiful little cafes and eateries and streets you can wander down and
Yeah, we do actually. And there's actually an Australian street, and it's full of cafes here, and it's a huge tourist attraction.
Oh, I mean, it never ceases. People fly halfway around the world and then look for a restaurant from their own country, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny.
Well, we better get back onto the subject at hand, although I'm fascinated and jealous about where you're living. Folks, Terence, the second time on the show, we got such good value the first time. I'm delighted that he's back again. He's the founder of the Radical Marketing Agency, which drives growth for coaches and course creators. Recently authored a book called, and this is an excellent title, Lead Surge, which details 8 effective funnels for coaching businesses. And before we get into it, what's a funnel?
Well, a funnel is basically a series of pages and communication that brings your prospects along the customer journey from being completely not knowing about you to going, maybe Tom's a nice guy, to the point where, oh, I love Tom, I'm just going to buy everything from him.
We should have your funnels in our business. But that's it, isn't it? It's a series of emails, landing pages, things called tripwires, and eventually the idea is that if people have an interest, it's a good way of convincing them of our credibility and giving them the reasons why they might want to start working with us. And the beauty about it is you don't have to go to a networking meeting one-on-one and start handing out business cards. It's all happening while you're asleep or on holiday even. So let's, folks, subject is, and so I just want to add this, folks. If you want scale and you want to leverage your time, there's this massive gulf between people who have to go to networking meetings and trade shows and hand out business cards, kind of hope to get lucky, and those small businesses that have leads at scale, and the gulf is bridged by funnels. That's essentially, that's the most, if you're looking at a combination of efficiency and effectiveness, that's the most effective way to get over that gulf and switch from the one-on-one kind of, wishing and a hoping and a praying, handing out business cards at meetings to something that's more automated, more systematic, and more predictable. So that said, Terence, how to grow your coaching business with the Lead Surge book. We're going to focus a little bit on the book, folks, but you don't have to go and buy it. So good news for you on that front. We'll tell you a bit more about that towards the end of the interview. Let's kick off, Terence. Question number 1 is, let's give us a frame of reference. Who's your ideal client?
Okay, my ideal client are high-ticket coaches and course creators who want to scale. A lot of them have all this like great, awesome information and products, but they don't know how to scale. And that's why I wrote the book for these people as well, so that they can find one of the 8 funnels that I have listed in the book and find one of them that they can use it to scale the business.
Lovely. So the problem you solve is scaling, obviously, but I guess it's lead generation at scale. Anything more you want to add to that?
Yeah. So, once you have built your funnel, which is your whole process from getting someone cold to warm to hot, is that you need to drive traffic, right? Otherwise, nobody knows about you. And that's where, we come in and write really awesome ads, in my humble opinion, to drive this traffic and the right people to come into your funnel. Right. So I think that's the 2 components that we cover. And the third component will be to track everything to make sure, which ads are getting the right people into your funnel and getting you the ideal clients. And that's a lot. Something that people don't do. Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? But it's so true. It's a very easy one to neglect. So you're setting up the funnels, driving the traffic, looking at the data, one source of reality, which is the numbers, not what we wish and hoping and praying for, but the numbers. And then presumably tweaking the funnel accordingly. So
exactly.
People that don't have what you've got, what's going on in their business or their life? In other words, what are the symptoms of people who've got the problem that you're solving?
So from many of the coaches I've seen is that, they try to rely on referrals. They try to rely on organic social.
Right.
And that could be a lot of hard work for very little return, or most importantly, unpredictable returns, right? One day you get a ton of leads, then for the next month, you don't get any leads and no sales. So that is the problem that we see a lot of coaches have.
So it's the lack of predictability, the lack of consistency, if you like, the lack of knowing that if you've taken certain actions, you're going to be getting some leads flowing in. It's the lack of that.
Correct.
Coaches and course creators are progressive individuals in my experience. They're people that have often jumped the job track. They've got courage to start their own business, and they're committed to success. So what I'm saying is they're going to be trying stuff before they find your solution. What would you say are some of the most common things that people are trying that are actually just flat out we're never going to work? What are people telling you that they tried and failed at, that we could save some people listening to this some time and frustration perhaps?
Okay. Yeah. So I think that there are so many potential things, but one of the things is they don't have the right funnel for their particular business and their particular offer. And also, you need to take into consideration who is your target market as well, right? Say, for example, if you're targeting C-level executives and you're running a webinar funnel that's 3 hours long, even 60 minutes long, they're not going to show up because they just don't have the time to do it, right? Whereas a different funnel might get you the result that you want. So I think it's just making sure you've got the right funnel for the right target audience. And that's something that people often miss out on.
Right. So matching the medium to the market, as some people say. So instead of perhaps a 1 hour webinar for busy executives, it's a series of 2-minute sound bites or videos or something. So matching the medium of the funnel to the market, big mistake not doing that. What? Let's flip it. We've got three minutes left. We've talked about the problems, the symptoms, the mistakes. What's a top tip you can give someone who it's not going to build the whole funnel for them, but it might be a step in the right direction?
Okay, so I believe what would be good if you're not going to build a whole funnel is what I describe in the book is called what we call lead ads, right? Which is, basically a funnelless funnel kind of thing. So you're basically generating leads online without actually building a whole funnel. But what we describe is the back end, the follow-up system behind that to make lead ads work. Because a lot of people say, oh yeah, run lead ads and get all these leads, but they're all useless. And that's because they don't have that back end system in place that is necessary to make these leads work. So yeah, that's one of the things that I describe in the book. Hey, that should be the first thing you do before you build any funnels.
Let's talk about the book then. Because question 6 is I normally ask guests, can you give us a valuable free resource? You've got this book set up for free, 8 radically effective marketing funnels for coaches and experts. The tip you just mentioned is part of that book. Where do people go to download a copy?
Okay, you can go to leadsurgebook.com.
So that's
www.
Lead Surge, SURGE book.com, leadsurgebook.com. And they're going to get, and folks, this is not an 8-page brochure. It's a 218-page book. It's got 8 funnels laid out for you. It's 6-figure businesses probably wanting to scale to multiple 6. If that sounds like you, leadsurgebook.com. I'm not receiving any affiliate commissions or remuneration for this interview. I'm interviewing Terence because I think this is highly valuable information and you should probably go get it. There'll be a link under the video if you're watching the video. Otherwise, if you're on iTunes or Stitcher or something, leadsurgebook.com. Terence, last question, 45 seconds left. What's the one question I should have asked you but didn't? And the answer, please.
I think the one question you didn't ask is probably why should you build a funnel, right? We talk about predictability, but also the important thing about having that funnel is that if you've got the right funnel, you can put $1 in and $2, $3 or more comes out on the other end. So the key is if you have that funnel, basically you can scale your business to the moon, right? So that's what I would say is the missing thing.
Good question. Good answer. Terence Tam, thanks once again for your time.
Thanks, Tom. It's been awesome again.
Cheers.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.